More than 67 million women are currently employed in the United States. But if you really take a look at the data, you see the impact that COVID-19 has had on women. 5.4 million women have lost their jobs since February 2020. Over 2.5 million women have disappeared from the workforce entirely. 3 working mothers are unemployed for every father who lost his job. That number as of September 2020. So Jocelyn, can we talk about the impact that this has had on the workforce and what we do about it?
Well, I think those numbers are troubling, but they really reveal the power and the impact of the pandemic. And, the first and foremost, part of the reason that we have those numbers is because the pandemic really hit certain industries harder. Leisure hospitality, you were speaking about the restaurants, places where women disproportionately work and women of color disproportionately work. At the same time, the other thing that the pandemic revealed was really our lack of strong work family policies, things like paid sick leave, paid family leave, those sorts of policy supports that people have needed in the context of a pandemic that has required people to take off extraordinary amounts of time to care for themselves or their families. And so the impact of both of those pieces has meant that women have departed. They've departed because they had no choice, because somebody has to do the care. And we know women disproportionately do the care. And if we really want to start thinking about how do we change that dynamic, we have to start by thinking about, well, what are the policies that we've lacked? What is the pandemic revealed? And the one thing that the pandemic has clearly shown is that we need to do better on some of these policy supports. We need to be able to help folks do the normal things that we all do, which is that we care for our families, but we also go to work. And, I think the last piece of this is, the bigger part is that women increasingly are central to the economic stability of their families. And their loss from the workforce is devastating, not only for them personally, but for the economic security of their families. 2/3 of moms are breadwinners. Those numbers are even higher, into the 80% when you talk about Black women. So we know that women are crucial to their family's economic stability and our overall economy. One of the most important features of women going into the workforce has been that it's helped grow our GDP. So we need women back because we need to be stronger economically.
And Caroline, losing a job or having to make a decision to give up your career, there's a mental health component to that as well.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, in a recent Mayo Clinic study, they actually noted that women were experiencing higher levels of loneliness compared to males, especially during the COVID lockdown. And they were hypothesizing that in part that's because women lost a lot of their social networking and support that they find in the workplace. And so, whether we're talking about loneliness or anxiety or depression or just kind of a sense of purposelessness or grief as you move about the day, and certainly trauma, as we're looking at this global psychological trauma through the pandemic, these are things that women are waking up and facing every day, and potentially facing without very much support with social distancing or, depending on what their spouse or partner situation is with their kids as well.